You're doing there. Okay.
Lunch break, if you're going.
Yeah. Not good when we don't get older. What do you do?
Okay, we'll call our meeting to order. We have a approval of the agenda.
Oh, yeah?
Any additions? I would like to include the letter from Matt Howard. It's not specifically here on the agenda, but it deals with definitely deals with the 7D. It goes with it, and if it's delayed the next month, it really doesn't make much difference because we're discussing it tonight. Anybody opposed to that addition? Okay. Richard, you
Yeah, I approve it. It's that addition.
seconder?
Yeah.
Brian, thank you. Anybody opposed? That's scary. Any declaration, beginning or interest? Hearing none. Minutes of June 4. Can I have that on the docket?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Brian, seconder? Richard? Any comments, additions, omissions? Hearing none. Anybody opposed? Carried. Mr. Light, you're up. Delegation.
Thank you, guys. The reason that we came is, we missed the last meeting and I apologize. We had something else with the fair board come up and, was able to come. Does everybody have the sheet that I provided you guys with? It's got a bunch of measurements on it. And, what we did was, you guys had asked for a topographical map. So instead of a topographical map, it's gonna cost the fair board a lot of money and a lot of time to do that, where we can simply we took some sites, we took some measurements. And I just wanna pass by you guys and see if we can come to an agreement and see if it works for both parties. So I just wanna start with the pipe that was put in last year. Ron and I went through all the measurements together. And if you see it here, I have it set as 0. And then if we go down here to halfway down the pipe, Ron wanted an open swale halfway down. And we have 3 inches of drop from the start. We had to take some rock out just to get, because before there wasn't very much drop in there at all. So we cleaned the ditch, put it out. When we get to the end of the pipe, we have 53 inches of fall. So 50 inches of fall from the center to the end that enters right before the horse ring. With that being said, the pipe that crosses the road that was put in before by the township, it sits at the same height as what we have at a 0, as well as the one that goes across Fire Hall Road that goes from the north side, which is also on the west side of where Charlie's place is. So with that being said, Fire Hall Road lays pretty flat, almost at a 0 until you get to the end of our property. And then that's where the rock goes up there. So we just have the watershed that actually runs from this west corner of the property down towards this ditch. We took, with as far as the land goes, below the pipes, the land, the center of Fire Hall Road, where that pipe is, we are 39 inches above where the inlet to that pipe is. And our land that's down, that covers the swale that we covered in, is 39 inches. So it's the same height as what the road is at its highest point. And from the open swale down to the exit, it's at 34 inches below the road. So it's actually 5 inches lower than what the road is once it starts running down there. When we went behind Charlie's house, there was 100 feet up the road. We were 39 inches, so pretty much level with Fire Hall Road. As we went 200 feet up the road, we were 42 inches above. As we went 300 feet up that road, we were 43 inches above. And when we got 400 feet up that road, we were 37 inches above. Charlie's property here on this side, we're about 20 to 24 inches plus or minus from what is the old highway to the east. So my proposal, what is going on, and Charlie can correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys allow him, but on his side of the property has to fill right full of water and then flow over top of Fire Hall Road before it can exit, because there's no drainage pipes that go across this road at any place. So my proposed bit would be on Fire Hall Road, if we put a 12-inch pipe, if I could take the time to go down with Ron, or Ron would take the time to go down with me, and we put a 12-inch pipe coming from the old highway down, then there would not be a water reserve built up on the east side of the old road, which then that's when it flooded Fire Hall Road. So then we could get that water away before it backed up. So in my belief, instead of digging out this pipeline that was proposed the last time, which we had a 1 in 100-year storm, if we needed to, we could take about 2 inches off the top of that pipe and it would swale down. And if it crossed Fire Hall Road, we could use over top of that pipe and use it as an open overflow ditch where it has a large way to spread. But everything on our property, on the Fairboard property, from the height of land where you can see where the parking lot comes in, which everything north to the top fence, it watersheds. You can see where the height is plus 49, plus 47, plus 44, and plus 49. Watersheds from there, it will go to the north and down this ditch and down the pipe. But probably 7/8 of our property floods, or like the storm water goes to the south, which that's where it's naturally going to go anyways. So I don't believe that we need a topographical study to show what this map simply shows. And I believe that if we put a 12-inch pipe in and drain Charlie's stuff before it filled up and flooded across Fire Hall Road, because that's the only way it can go, it would also start flowing down this pipe sooner, because as soon as it gets to that point, then the whole thing's going to flood. Does anybody have any questions about, does that make sense to people, where if we don't we're backing the water up, then saying that we have a problem after the water's backed up, where if we put a 12-inch culvert across Fire Hall Road and did some ditching into these other pipes, everything would flow before. And if we had to, if for some reason we would not to lose what we gained in parking down this whole west side, if we did take a hammer, we could clean that out and the water could flow around that way if we need to, instead of pulling those pipes out of the ground. But I think that if we do a little bit of proper drainage first, drain Charlie's property properly, then it wouldn't be wet back there all year, and we can probably take care of this problem by putting in a 12-inch culvert across Fire Hall Road.
Any questions from committee members? Brian?
Has any of this information, like, I mean, it seems you've done your homework, and thank you. But has any of this been run by a drainage engineer? I'm concerned because you're proposing to make changes here, but it may affect other properties. And we've had complaints from other property owners down there already. So I don't want to see something done where the municipality comes into liability on it because we okayed it. So I would prefer, I think are we waiting for a drainage engineer report for this?
For Fire Hall Road?
Eh?
For Fire Hall.
Yeah,
Hall
which
Road,
is all part of
It's
it.
in,
Whole drainage area.
it's in progress.
So I would prefer, because there's other property owners involved in this, that we wait for this report. But
The report was supposed to be in conjunction with an engineering report that was authorized last year. So this was additional information provided by the Cultural Society to go along with any report from, I believe it was Tulloch. I'm not quickly speaking out of school, it wasn't Tulloch. I think it was Tulloch who we engaged as an engineer to do some survey work.
So this then, is additional information.
So correct, I mean,
Provide.
yeah, so we had required, put a requisition in to get a professional survey done.
Yeah.
Or professional report
In
done,
that whole drainage area.
Correct, yeah.
We requested
Uh,
we requested the survey from the Ag Society so that we could give it to the drainage engineer. So then he could provide a report on the overall drainage in the area. That was the purpose of requesting the report from the Ag Society, was to give it to our drainage engineer, not our drainage, the Tulloch Engineering, who was doing the survey, so they could include all that information on the drainage report for the area that he was going to prepare.
So what I'm asking is, sorry, John.
Were you aware that the drainage engineer was in process?
We missed last meeting, which was the main thing, and we didn't, I spoke to an engineer on site down there, and that's why instead of him sitting in his truck and staring at some stuff and making some assumptions, I actually got out and made some measurements, and drainage is common sense. Water runs downhill. It has since God made earth, so I think it's pretty simple, where I don't think we need to spend $10,000 if Ron's taking a bunch of drainage courses and we pay him a lot of money apparently to do drainage, so I think if we have I think a site meeting before the Agricultural Society spends a lot of money, we work very hard to get volunteered with and use a little bit of common sense with this. It makes we're not forcing water that's not already going to that place. We're just gonna monitor at a slower rate. If we put that pipe in, it's going to drain the area at a slower rate, then wait for it to flood, then come down at a faster rate. It's basic drainage knowledge, where that's what I mean, a site meeting would go a long ways before everybody starts spending a lot of money.
Any other comments?
I'm confused as to where this 12-inch tile is gonna go. Can you point it out
Yeah.
to me here?
So there's where the old highway goes. So it's right here.
Okay.
So this runs right down your,
this-
this is your back property. So it runs there, and you know how it has to pool up here before it runs over the road?
Actually, what it did is there's a 3-foot tile here and an 18-inch tile here.
Yeah.
And when it came to the smaller pipe that Ron said they could put in, what it did is it backed up to the point where it filled the whole swamp. Now, we gotta remember, it's coming down the highway, it's also coming out of the bush. So you have both those tiles, the 3-foot cement tile, smooth tile, and you had the 2-foot tile feeding the one tile that they've got going across. And what it did is it flooded the entire back area before it even got to my place. Then, as we gave Denise pictures, it had flooded over top of the road, filled right to the Ag Society's exhibit hall. And I showed Jack where it was starting to come across my place. So it actually came down the road, went across the road. So this 12-inch tile he's proposing won't actually have an effect. It's gonna flood right to, and we had 4 feet of water in my backyard to the point where it was flooded.
How many years has this happened? Every
It
year?
happens twice a year, and it's happened every year. Now, we approached the municipality in 2008 and tried to make corrections, and then again in 2023, because it happens in the fall and it happens in the spring. We get a heavy rain, a bit of snow, and then another heavy rain, and it has no place to go. It had this open ditch, but we've got pictures which we gave Denise, and they're on file, and it showed the whole area. It had flooded everything west to Fire Hall Road, everything west to the old highway was flooded first. Then it crossed and it flooded right to the Ag Society's exhibit hall, and it flooded the road till it flooded my place. Then it went right up to the fire hall, across the fairgrounds. It was going across the highway, and that wasn't still enough. It went around back behind, and it washed out the whole entire Campbell Street Road, work all that they've done there.
So I mean, is that every, like, we have one in
Twice,
Oxford
you know,
years.
It's twice a year.
It runs across the highway, the main highway.
It's twice a year that it runs that much water. The tiles fill right to the brim. There's a 3-foot cement tile, and it's a little farther west on the Fire Hall Road. It's past where the pavement stops. And there's also the new 18-inch 2-foot tile that Ron put in in 2023. So you've got both those tiles feeding and then it bottlenecks to the ditch that the open ditch that they filled in.
But if it flooded before, then the ditch did.
The ditch wasn't ditched. There were 30-foot trees that hadn't been dug out since 97. And this happened and they ditched it, but then it had overgrown. Now, every year it was able to take the flow, but this 16-inch smooth tile that they've put in is not enough to handle the 3-foot tile that they've got feeding it. And it's got another tile, like I said, feeding it. So you got two tiles, you got 4 feet of water feeding into this 16-inch tile that they've put in.
Okay, what we have is, there'll be an engineering, drainage study. It's in progress, it'll be coming. This is additional information. There's time, obviously, in this fall season. So what we have here, Wayne, as far as I can see, is additional information that can go in to the drainage study, which is already being proposed for 500 Hall Road, which would be part of your property. And you know what, like,
Can we maybe arrange a site meeting
yeah,
with everybody? And I think that would be very beneficial. Like if Charlie's there all the time, then Charlie can show the engineer, because an engineer can't see what. If engineer's not there during the flooding season, so I think it would be great if we had a site meeting, if we could organize a site meeting.
mhm.
That the engineer, Ron and whoever else from the township, and Charlie and myself and whoever else would like to join.
Any other residents
Yeah.
that I see at the back,
Yeah.
they could join that meeting. Yeah, I mean, what this is additional information. You've done your shots. Yes, it's not topographical, but it gives the information of the watershed,
Yeah.
the direction. It's got your buildings all there. The only other thing that topographical does is join the lines and shows the slope of
Yeah.
the contour of the land. That's all it does. Right?
Everybody's.
I think the purpose of the report was more to look to the future to say, what is the Ag Society proposing? Are you doing any other changes to that property that the drainage engineer needs to know about when he's doing his study? And I think you're right, Wayne, if we did have a meeting, he could ask those questions and you could outline any future changes that the Ag Society might be proposing for that property. So that can be worked into the plan as well.
Yeah, which is perfect, because
Yeah.
we're just planning parking lots and that's it.
That's Wayne for getting on some of this.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, Wayne. Any further discussion at all?
That's the solution, is get everybody that's involved around the table and look at it on a site basis and come up with some conclusions and move forward.
Thank you. Thanks, Wayne. Old business, all,
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, I didn't get a first or second on that.
Oh.
We accept that delegation, please.
okay.
First step for you.
Yeah. John and Brad. Anybody opposed? Acceptance. Carried. Old business, everything's in progress, A, B, C, D. New business, household hazardous waste day stats. Denise, could you give us a rundown on those stats?
I think this is easily.
Okay, go ahead.
Basically, Rose took account of the cars and the number of loads that were being dropped off at Health and Hazardous Waste Day. She put a nice little chart that we're doing here. So you can see that Central Manitoulin residents for about 49%, give or take, of all of the household hazardous waste. Followed by, after that would have been billings at almost 13%. So when we do get the household hazardous waste day bill from GFL, it will be subdivided and on a per rated basis based off of usage, number of houses that were served.
I think it was a good successful day. I don't know. Adam, do you happen to know it's more than we had last year?
No, it's, last year we had like 270, this year I think we had 248. So I mean, it was definitely in the ballpark, it was a couple cars. It was pretty much the same as last year realistically.
It was run pretty efficiently. By 3 o'clock, there was hardly anybody come through.
The same thing happened last year too, if I remember correctly, it was a flood of people for a while, then it trickled down towards them.
Anybody on committee comment? Thank you for the volunteers that were there. Excellent. And the staff worked hard all afternoon, for sure. Thank you, staff. Minutes,
The report, please.
motion to receive the report, Richard, John. Anybody opposed to carry? Thank you. Minutes of the Discovery Center Board. Can we put those on the table?
Make that motion.
Thank you. Second. Richard? Okay, I think we have one recommendation there tonight and any comments? There's a motion of Walker and Blay. Recommend to council that they prioritize the provision of a permanent building signage identifying the Discovery Center. In the interim, we request a temporary banner that says Discovery Center with advisory input from the maintenance department. Do I have any comment on that one?
Sure.
Yep, right.
Even if we did what they asked for, by the time we got that banner made up and approved and all that, it would probably be closer to the end of this tourist season anyway, so I think we're getting the water by asking. Having this.
It'll take at least a week to get anything done from motions or another type company
Yeah,
of that
and
sort.
Then we'll have to go out, banners not made in one day.
No, this was get approved at council about the 13th or so, and it'll take another week after that to even get the banner, so you're looking at about the 20th by the time the banner even comes in.
So we'll probably be very close to our end of our tourist season.
Any other comments? John?
To that, what happens with the design work that's scheduled to be done for the municipality, which probably would include Providence Bay and municipal buildings, so if that's not a plan or budgeted item, would we not be moving forward with the idea that giving them permission to go forward with an identification of the Discovery Center sign, which would come out of their budget. Because there's no end date or start date for new signage. So until that happens, at least they would have something. And if they did that now, yes, they would have a sign ready to go in the spring. I do agree with that.
Permanent sign.
Any other comments? Richard?
Well, just listening to what the guys are saying here, the idea of a temporary one seems redundant at this point. So put your efforts into getting a permanent one and having it available first of the new season would make more sense.
Anything else? I don't, Rose is on tonight, is she?
I'm not sure, I know, and is Rose in?
Yep, I'm here.
I met Rose Sleep. Hi, Rose.
Oh, yeah, I'm
here.
Hi, Rose.
I'm here. Hi.
Rose, how would this signage, permanent, we're talking about permanent signage, work in with the RFP for the Providence Bay whole package deal?
Well, part of
on,
the RFP is for a design of a signage strategy as well. So we're looking for more like a cohesive signage strategy for the area. So I don't know if it would be something that we might want to wait until we have something more cohesive for the entire area.
Yeah. Yeah, saying that, Rose, it's putting them off, obviously, and saying, well, let's wait for a while, but, they do their own signage, and then they come to us and say, is that signage okay? And then we have an RFP, and the consultants say, well, we have a different design for signage, so I don't know.
I don't know, 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 I don't know,
And
If I may, the Province Bay Master Plan won't happen overnight anyway, like, I mean, right now, we're in the stages of trying to find a consultant to actually do a proposal for one. So even if you decided to go ahead with a temporary sign strategy, that's something that you can have a temporary sign for the rest of this year and for next year while the master plan is developed, should you decide to go that route. I mean, they're not, start next season, it would be unrealistic to think that we'd have a signage strategy already in place. So they're gonna be in the same position July first next year as they are right now. With asking for a temporary sign.
anything else? Yeah,
Yeah, I can't see the harm in, granting this request of getting a temporary sign. And then at least the building's going to be identified, where the Discovery Center in that building will be identified. Because we could be 2 years into an RFP and study and everything else before signage will ever be put up, so, granting approval for a temporary sign, I don't see a problem with that. That's my opinion. But I'm not on the committee, so.
yeah,
Does that require a motion?
Okay, the only problem I got with this is, why would we make a sign part of the RFQ for the master plan? It's not the intent of it to design a sign. I could see the people that are driving this thing for the sign, getting together, doing their own, like trail did and everything else like that, and come up with a sign that's acceptable to everybody. And then move forward with it independently. Like, Counselor said, that they have their own budget. So there's nothing to stop them from moving ahead and putting something permanent up there. And then at least save a bit of money, on putting a banner up there that's, gonna be taken down in a year's time.
Derek,
This signage thing's been going on for quite a while. They've wanted to put up signs and that, councils have turned them down. And it was always, well, we want a unified sign, we want a sign that's the same right across the municipality, designed, it's never happened. And every time that they've asked to be able to put up signage, we've turned them down. So if they want to put up something that says that this is the Discovery Center, I think we should allow it, because we're the ones that have put it off for years now.
so Derek, are you talking permanent or temporary?
Just a temporary sign until we figure out what's going on with that building and everything else.
Do you think a banner is suitable?
I would think it'd be fine for a temporary basis, and then we can decide what we're doing. We've been going on sign strategy now for at least 2 terms of council, and we've never been able to figure out a sign, so.
Now, a more firm structure would certainly stand up better in wind and everything than a banner.
But every time they want to put up a sign, then maintenance says, well, we can't do this, and we can't do that, and so a banner, at least you can put a banner up and tie it there, and it's gonna be there, so.
Okay, I guess,
We've already allowed them to put directional signs up. And I would assume that a sign identifying the building would be in, comparable to what they've already, put up as far as directional signs. I think what they should be doing is not a banner per se, it is an actual fixed sign that will stand the test of weather that it has to put down there, so I think we allow them to go forward, and if I have to sponsor a motion to allow them to go forward and coordinate that with the or maintenance department, then I think that fulfills their wishes of trying to identify the building. It's fine.
Brian, one last kick at the can.
Are we talking a banner or something permanent here?
Something permanent. Eventually, yes, the municipality will end up with its signage program for the whole, but in the meantime, Councillor Stevens makes a valid point. It's been a few sessions of council trying to get something, so in the meantime.
So the motion as they put it is until such time as council prioritizes the permanent signage strategy, they are in the interim requesting a temporary banner that says Discovery Center. So that's the gist of the motion that they want to approve. So they're asking for a temporary sign until the signage strategy is done.
They're asking for the.
That's what their motion is asking.
So is that in line? Okay. Everybody
Remove the
agree?
word banner and put sign in.
Yeah,
They're asking for a banner.
yeah, but
No support.
I think Councilor Mitchell has a make it a sign.
I'd say signage and comparable with what the
Yeah.
signage that's been put up already. I think that'd be the way I'd work.
So if we change that word from banner to sign, we will call that a valid motion then? That's what you like?
I'll support.
Okay, we have a seconder. Any further discussion? Anybody opposed? That's good. Okay, move on. Yeah, the leak. The water system, you have a verbal report.
Ron should be online, who we would be able to talk to that.
On or.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is for the water line repair, correct?
Yes.
Yes, so again, we ended up going directly across Highway 540, 542. By the time we found the actual leak, there was only at best a couple of meters left before we had the entire road dug up. So at that point, we just figured there was three repairs in that line already. So we went with the full length across the road, from the curb stop all the way across to the main line with new poly line. And all the rocks that were around the original line, there was some larger aggregates in there. We took that all out and it was replaced. It was put in a conduit, and then it was also like the 4-inch big old conduit, and then it was placed in sand. Our hope is that we do not have to mess with that specific water line again. The surface right now is still waiting. I'm in contact with MCON. They are trying to add that on to one of their paving projects on the island. I do not have confirmation on that yet, specifically if they will or will not. Any of the other contractors that are available or would be able to do that, it's basically not really worth their time to come out for such a small section of repair independently for that project all by itself. And then also McCann Concrete has been contacted to repair the curb, but they will not be able to do it until the fall time. So it is the hope that we will have that properly repaired before the snow flies.
Thanks, Ron. Any questions for Ron?
Motion to accept.
Yeah. Richard? Seconder? Brian? Anybody opposed? That's carried. Okay, get back to my. Landfill tipping carts. We have a verbal report. We have a letter from Mr. Matt Hallett to go with that verbal report. We've been running tipping cards purchased at the office, taken down to take with your garbage bags, and it's been running for a month since July 1. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, it's been actually running a little bit, probably more smoothly than I would have anticipated. There's a little bit of a learning curve there, and people naturally are a little resistant at first, but overall, after use, people said that it's really not that onerous, not that bad of a system. So it has, I think it's improved cash flow, it's improved efficiency, especially at the office. It's It seems to be working out fairly well, I'd say 95% of the cases. Yeah, see, there's always gonna be a few hiccups with any new system. Whenever you introduce something new, it's change, and some people don't like change, and it always happens, but it's been going smoother than I would have anticipated, to be honest with you. I'm very pleased with the response it's been.
That being said, with the letter from Matt Allen, I've had some of the same reports and some people have said the same thing. If they purchase them online, through the website, because they're only here on weekends. They're not here during the week when they can get into the office, and that would probably be a good idea if there's any way that we can do it.
That is something that we can look into. It will be tricky to do and won't be something we can do quickly, to be honest with you, because the current program that we have is set up specifically for facilities to require quite a tweak to try and figure out how to do that. Not that it's impossible, nothing's impossible, given enough time, but it's definitely something we can look into. That being said, anybody at any time who doesn't live nearby manages to pay their taxes. They call us on the phone, they send us a check, we mail out the tax bills. We have no problem mailing out tipping cards or mailing out bag tags with registered mail to make sure they get it, because it's essentially cash you're sending through the mail at that point. They can call us up, pay by phone, they can send us a check, we can make arrangements to get these items to them. So I mean, it's not that they can only come in Monday to Friday, the same way you cannot just only pay your bill by coming to the office. There are ways we can work with people. And going online would make things easier, there's no doubt. It'd be a little tricky to do at this point in time. I'm not sure what the cost on that would be, because we're requiring some computer expertise to be able to do it. To be frank, we don't have the skill in-house to be able to do the programming on that type of thing for our system. And I can't even tell you, hazard a guess what that would cost. I'm ignorant on that specifically, wouldn't know at all. How much that would cost.
What,
I sort of, when I read maps there, it's not any different than the 3 or 4 other complaints that I've got to, that they just don't have access, they didn't know about it. And where can we buy tags on the weekend if we get caught short or like that? I just wonder if the municipality has looked at maybe having an outlet sell tags for us. Somebody that's open on the weekend.
We have had internal discussions about it.
Yeah.
And we decided that's probably not a great idea.
It's what?
Not a great idea.
And, okay.
The reason why it's not a good idea is that when people come in to buy bag tags and tipping cards, we can check in real time that they are ratepayers and you know, people who live within the municipality. It's amazing how many people have come in that aren't from this municipality and want to buy tipping cards and bag tags. We turn away probably 2 to 3 people a week who aren't from the municipality, or people who are renting from an STA, or people who are staying at a trailer park and want to access our landfill. These are people who shouldn't be accessing our landfill. The landfill costs that we incur just for tipping from the landfill alone is over $90,000 a year. That cost is subsidized in part by the return we get from selling tipping cards and bag tags. However, it does not come even close to being a break-even point. So ratepayers pay for the vast majority of the cost to tip the garbage that comes into the landfill site. The people at the landfill have no way of checking in real time as to whether the people that are coming in to tip are either ratepayers or renters, or people that have legitimate access to this landfill. So I'm leery of having a third party to sell it, because how are they going to be able to check whether these people have a legitimate right to access our landfill, given the cost that is borne by the ratepayers on this service? I think that's something we would have to be careful.
Yes.
Well, if people need to have a, what's it called, a dump card or whatever, I don't
ID
actually
card.
have one, but an ID card. for the dump, could that not be used to buy tags at another outlet? That is ID that you are a ratepayer or a resident of Central Manitoulin. So
It's not
I'm not sure
necessarily
if that-
current, though. We started we started the landfill cards ages ago. And there are tons of landfill cards out there for people who are not current taxpayers. When somebody requests bag tags and or tipping cards, we check to ensure that they have the right to access the landfill.
Richard,
I'm just curious, Denise, do we get many instances where we find garbage disposed of in our ditches and spare parking lots? I'm just looking at the bigger picture. Is not the cost of providing a clean municipality also important? If somebody's getting a break to buy some tickets in order to put the garbage in the right location, then I would like to think that would be encouraged.
I spoke with Ron about that subject because I was curious whether or not there was any additional garbage disposed, like people throwing their trash on the side of the road, whatnot. He said there's a little bit, but there was always a little bit. He said there's nothing more or less than normal per se. So it doesn't seem that it's been an issue thus far.
So the system isn't contributing to it.
No, not at this point.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Chair, can I speak on that for a minute?
Derek's and
No, let Rose go. Let Rose
Okay.
go.
go ahead, Rose.
All I would like to say is the system we have in place right now, I think it's totally awesome. And the only, I think people have to be more aware of what they do with their garbage and how they handle their garbage. And I don't think $3.50 is enough for a bag. My comment.
Derek,
I know of different businesses with garbage bins that have had problems with people dropping garbage off at their bins. Because there's nowhere else to take it.
Since the new program's been implemented.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And different spots like that. Just the golf course yesterday, somebody backed in with a truck to their bins to dump off a bunch of cardboard, and they said, "Oh, so and so told me I could." So it is going on out there. Yeah, we might not see it on the sides of the road like it has been, but I remember back to the Big Lake dump road there, and Ted Taylor and the whole Cafasco with garbage being dumped off there at their bins and having to lock them and the whole bit. So there is a problem out there, and I think if we could come up with some sort of a dump card system that's current and be able to either have an outlet that people could buy them or get them purchased online, or somehow or another is going to make the system a lot better. And I think it's our duty to try to make it as convenient as we can for our ratepayers. So.
Yes. Yeah, in the old days, they didn't recognize you. You pulled out an ID card that said where you lived.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything problem with that. And it is true. If you're heading to the boat and you don't have a tag, you don't have tags and you want to dump your garbage off, and you don't realize, a lot of residents right now don't even know about these tags. Yeah, it might have been on the website, but they haven't worked their way through the website. And
An insert was put in with every tax bill, but that's, like you say, it's gonna take time to work through the
it's gonna take time to work through. So right now, I think it definitely can be a problem with weekend residents that are leaving the island, weekend tourists that are catching the boat. And I don't think they're taking their garbage down Towing Sound or wherever they're from.
And just as a comment to answer Councillor Stevens a little bit here. The third party retailer, I understand what he's talking about, but if you buy the cards online, it's still the issue of time lag between the buying the card online and us getting the card through them. So that time lag does still take into account even if you're purchasing it online.
Right. Okay, so we have a discussion about online. That may take some time. But it might be prudent to explore that rather than just leave it. And any other considerations in this discussion? Brian?
The only thing I have to say is that I think the residents have identified a shortfall or a problem with the system. Now, there's probably nothing wrong with the system as far as it goes, but they've identified a problem here that's unique to us. So it would fall upon us to continue on this and try and get our staff to look at a solution to the weekend or the person that's traveling through or whatever like that, or is a resident here. So that's all I can say. I know it's not something that we can do overnight, but I mean, staff should be able to come up with something that's going to at least partly alleviate this problem.
The garbage in the ditches, I pick up garbage in my local area. I'm picking up bags, not every day. Maybe every other week I'll find a full bag of garbage in the ditch.
More than normal?
No, like, we're talking just a month, right? July 1. Yeah, this is historically. I have a resident not too far, he has a bush lot, he's a farmer, bush lot. He's picking up bags of garbage that people are dumping on his land pretty regularly. Not just this past month, I mean, it hasn't just happened since July 1st, obviously. But I don't think it's gonna get any better with tags. Purchasing tags at the office.
10 to 20 a weekend at my dumpster. I have 10 to 20 a weekend at my dumpster. And I'm $1,100 a month in garbage. Cost me.
And we have another businessman down the road, same problem. Yeah, they're loading up these dumpsters.
If I can say, why don't we have a $5 non-residence ticket that we sell at the grocery store?
Or come up with a different identification card for the municipality. And now it's current, there's gotta be a solution here. Because I know businesses, MTO of the bathroom areas there where they got the garbage cans and that, you see bags piled at them too. So MTO's got a problem with garbage being dumped. So there's gotta be a solution, and it can't be that hard to figure out. If our tags are not current anymore and everything else, well, let's come up with new tags for the residents, for access to the dumps, and then everybody will have one. And if they need tags, you know, they could go to, I don't know, Ben's or I don't know where you can sell them, but there should be one retailer that would be, maybe we could sell that and they could just go there and get it. Go to the dump. I mean, it's not that hard.
Okay, so we've got almost like a pilot project for a month now. It's almost a month up, well, it is a month up now. It never came to council, so this is our first discussion we've ever had on this. What does committee want to do? Yeah, Richard.
Well, I think, Brian kind of outlined it there, that we have staff with some more ideas. Take another look at all of the proposals that have come out, including one from Wayne there just now. And see if some or all of those can be implemented and make it easier for staff and our residents or our temporary residents.
Anything more? I think if we have a rental program for facility, there shouldn't be any problem with having a program for tags online. It's just gonna take a little time, maybe a little money.
Again, it's not the issue of the payments, it's the issue of them being able to get the tag in their hand. So I mean, even if you buy it online and you wanted to access the dump on Sunday.
Mhm.
You buy it online on Wednesday or Friday, you're still not gonna get your pay for Sunday, even if you bought it online. Brings it up. Yeah, that's another option. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, all these things are stuff that hasn't even crossed my mind yet, so I mean, it's hodgepodge of stuff. Good
All
call.
the iPhones now, they're all
Yeah,
there.
yeah, and again, that's all beyond my expertise to even figure out how to cost that level and how to do any of that, so that's.
There's very cheap online services for that. You pay $1 and they give you a QR code, or you can get online and they give you unlimited QR codes for a monthly subscription. It's a very cheap.
There's gotta be a system out there.
There's gotta be something, okay.
I think we need to do some more research on this.
I think public's brought up a good point. That's what we should look at.
And then, Mr. Chair. Yep, question to Wayne. How do we stop the dumping at your dumpsters? How do we
You don't.
get around?
You don't.
I locked it. I have a security camera. People just drive up and throw it in front of a dumpster. It's what it is. You just. Lots of times I have to in the summertime pay an extra dump. For them to come in and dump my bin twice, because sometimes there's so much garbage I can't dump. So in the summertime, I almost pay another $300 a month in dumping tipping fees for garbage left in front of my dumpster.
If I may ask, has this been historical or has this increased this year since this new system has happened?
No, it's been for quite a while, but it's gotten worse this summer.
That in the rest of the summer?
Yeah, I had my lot cut off and filled up, and yeah, it's.
But thank you.
Okay, so going back to direction to staff, I think, to research this, take into account residents' suggestions, and let's work on the bag tag.
Do we need a motion for that, or is it?
There's a direction to
I
staff.
think it's a direction.
Yeah.
Okay, drinking water quality management system, the audit for Aqua. You've got that. It wasn't as long as usually it is. Can we put that on the table to start with? John, second?
Yep.
Brian? Okay, any questions, any comments on the audit?
I just have one on page 5 and opportunity for improvement. That should probably be looked at and suggested to or to see how we can coordinate getting some of these improvement opportunities as they call them.
Yeah, I think normally it's always happened in the past. They get a copy of this, so when they see improvements, they're not slack on that, they're on top of it right away. Right away. Aqua does a good job, and that's not required, it's just an opportunity. But every time I've seen Aqua with an opportunity, they jump on that. Anything else? Nothing? Anybody opposed to accepting the report? Here. Welcome hours, welcome center hours, change, a verbal report.
Yeah, I can help with that. Basically, they had started their program running at 10 to 6 p.m. They noticed that between the hours of 5 and 6, they were getting very little traffic. They thought they'd be getting more traffic if they'd switch their hours back to 9 to 5 as opposed to 10 to 6. So they made that, I believe it was as of August 1, they switched back to the 9 to 5 as opposed to the 10 to 6. So nothing earth shattering there, just letting council know that a change was made.
And that was on the website announced.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Anything, any comment? Okay, let's move into year to date. And I have a motion. Who is that?
Can we get that motion?
Yeah, John, Brian. Richard, any yellow? Anybody else? While Richard's looking.
Good.
Anybody? Anybody opposed to accepting?
Oh, I had just one quick question.
Okay.
Sorry. Slow. Into the drainage expenses. I see in the 2026 budget, we have $25,000 put aside for municipal drain system A expense. What is that?
Every year, we have about four major drain systems that we have. Every year, we put aside some money in terms of a budget in case we have to do a repair to one of the four drains. So since I've been here for 2 years, we haven't had to do any major system work. That does not mean that we shouldn't be putting some aside just in case. So we budgeted 25,000 on the off chance that something happens to do with one of our drains.
Okay, so that's replenished every year. So even if we don't, it's zeroed and then it just put,
It's an operating expense, not capital. It goes back into the municipal coffers. It's not spent.
all right. Thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, one other thing, under the library, a question for.
Account code, please.
4702000, library audit. It's been budgeted for the past couple of years at 1850. And there's a jump up to 3932. Just wondering why.
That expense was missed last year and doubled this
It
one.
was a double expense. That is correct.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything on it? Anybody opposed? Carried. On camera adjournment, please.
Make that motion for
Brian, seconder, John. Thank you, everybody, for attending tonight. Thank you very much.
7:57.